Hey guys, so today we are going to start talking about the ocean. And specifically, we're going to talk about the shore. That means the part of the ocean right near the land. So in your book, on page 74, that's a 7 and a 4 at the bottom, you'll see a page that looks like this. I'm going to read you a poem to help us think about what the seashore is. It's called Shore. Play on the seashore and gather up shells. Kneel in the damp sand, digging wells. Run on the rocks where the seaweed slips. Watch the waves and the beautiful ships. That was written by Mary Britton Miller. And at the bottom of the paper, you can see a little boy and a little girl playing in the sand. And I see some other kind of beach pictures in the back. I see a sailboat. I see a lighthouse, a seagull. You see the little sea lion? Let's see what we can learn about the seashore. So what is the seashore? The seashore is a place where the sea and the land meet. So if you look right here, that's the sea. This is the land. The water is crashing up. See, it rolls. The waves roll, roll, roll until they get all the way up to the land. Then they go and they break. And that's what it looks like. That's why it's so foamy white right here. It's because that's where the waves are breaking. So it rolls up and then it crashes. And then it breaks right here on the land. So, the shore, it can be rocky. You see in this picture, it has some rocks on it. The waves beat on the rocks. And the waves make loud noises. I'm going to play a little bit of a beach for you. I want you to listen carefully. It's just going to be the sounds. You got to picture it in your mind. If it helps, close your eyes and listen to it. You'll hear some water and some animals. See if you can hear the difference. So the louder crashing sounds were a big wave, but the little puddle sounds where it almost sounded like someone was stepping in the water, that was just the water barely moving. And if you listened closely, you could hear some birds. So another name for the seashore is the beach, and sometimes it can be real sandy. You see right here, this is the beach. I see some rocks, but it's not nearly as rocky as the last picture of the beach. There are all kinds of fun things you can do at the beach, like these two little girls. They're playing in the sand. What do you like to do at the beach? Do you like to build a sandcastle? What about splash in the waves? How about playing with a beach ball and bouncing it back and forth? There's so many fun things you can do. So to help us think about it, in your book, there's a picture that looks like this. You get to color the little boy playing in the sand. What is he doing? He's building a what? He's building a sandcastle. And in the back, you could see somebody enjoying a sailboat. So you're going to color the picture, trying your very best and using real colors. Think about what kind of things you would see and hear and feel while you were at the beach. So now we get to talk about some of the animals you might find at the seashore. I like to hunt shells. Little animals used to live inside each seashell. Now the shells are empty. Have you ever gone to the beach and seen little shells everywhere? Maybe you've picked up a few of them. Well, those little shells used to have animals in it. One of the animals that might have lived in it is something that looks like this. This is a hermit crab. So he has a hard, spirally shell on his back, and when he gets scared, he'll pull into the shell so that he can hide. Now, some of the shells you might find on the beach, they still have a little hermit crab inside of them. If you find one of those, it's best to just leave him alone because he's already in his home. So maybe you can help him by putting him back at the water or just leaving him right where you found him. Hermit crabs, they like to hunt for shells too. And when they outgrow their shells, they'll find new ones, bigger ones. And we can find empty shells on the beach too. Turn to page 78. That's a page with a 7 and an 8 at the bottom. And at the very top, you'll see this word, fish. Fish. F-I-S-H. Do you see it? If you can't find it, you can pause the video and then join me once you have found it. God created fish in all shapes, colors, and sizes. A fish uses his gills to breathe underwater. Fins help a fish to swim. And most fish live in groups. The groups are called schools. So you see this large group of fish right here? They're all different kinds of fish. Look at the page in your book on 78. I see bluefish, orange fish, stingrays, and sharks. Do any of those fish look exactly the same? No, they're all a little bit different. What's your favorite fish that you see on your page on 78? What is different about that fish than one of the other fish on that page? There's so many differences, aren't there? So some fish are huge, like this one right here. This one is called a Goliath grouper. This is a really big fish. You can see right here, this man, that is a full-size man, just like your daddy or your uncle. And look how big this fish is right next to him. That is a huge fish. But there's also some teeny tiny fish. There's all kinds of different size fish. A lot of the tiny fish, they like to live in places called coral reefs because it helps protect them. A coral reef is filled with all kinds of different life. And even the fuzzy looking odd pieces of coral itself, those are living and growing creatures. You get to watch a little video on it later after this. Ooh, now we get to talk about another fun group of animals. A crab, he likes to fight, and he likes to pinch. And there's a fun fact. If one of his legs is broken or bitten off, it will grow back. So he'll grow a brand new leg right where the old one used to be. This is a picture of two crabs. You see, we read that they like to fight. They use their big, strong pinchers to help them. And you see all these different legs? If part of it were to break off, they could grow a new one. A crab, he's a funny little creature. He has 10 legs. You see all of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 10 legs. And 2 of them are those pinchers, the ones I just pointed out that he uses to fight. His eyes are on these long stems. See these black dots? Those are his eyes. And when he runs sideways. I have a video to show you of that. He just ran into his home. That little hole is called the burrow. He lives there. can see all the different legs on that crab. You see all the legs? And he buries himself in the sand. I'm going to skip ahead to show you all the crabs. See, they're digging their holes? And watch it when it gets further away. Look at the picture. You can find little crabs moving all over the place. I hope you enjoyed learning about the seashore and the animals you might find on it. Be sure to watch the video about the coral reefs. It'll give you a lot of interesting information about the type of life you'll find there.